wasn't when, although I wasn't there. He said I was his friend, which came as a surprise. And I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died alone a long, long time ago. Oh no, not me. We never lost control. Your face to face with a man who sold the world. His hand, made my way back home. I searched for foreign land. For years and years I roamed, and I gazeless stare at all the millions that I must have died alone. A long, long time ago. Who knows? Not me. We never lost control. Your face to face with the man who sold the world.
Welcome back to another Heroes and Hooligans presentation of live-action role-playing Dungeons & Dragons. This Saturday night, we bring you something very different than what you see throughout the rest of the week. We also are introducing a new DM on the channel this week, Legoshi, who will be DMing from behind Odin's Eye. Say hi, Legosh.
Hello.
So this campaign that we're bringing to you is a Viking, Norse-themed campaign. It will be run by Jordan. I will be playing. So we're going to go around and introduce some of the characters, and then we'll get right into it. We'll start with Astrid.
Good evening, everyone. I am Astrid Breitolf. I am a human mercenary. I'm just kind of traveling around at the moment, trying to get a little more experience and accomplish a few other things in hopes that I can eventually prove myself worthy of taking over the Mercenary Guild.
Perfect. Good to meet you, Astrid. Next, we have Brenna.
Hello, everyone. I am Brenna Helder's daughter. I am a half-elf druid who is been apprenticed to the local witch slash healer slash midwife up in the mountains, and she has just recently passed. And so now I am in town kind of finishing up her affairs and trying to figure out what to do with myself now.
Perfect. Next we have Cleo.
Hi, I'm Cleo, or Cleopatra Stormtracer, and I am a Tabaxi rogue. And my character is being played as looking just like a jaguar. I know there are other interpretations of Tabaxi, but that is how Cleo is appearing, is exactly like a jaguar with a bit of armor and a backpack. And who will, when and if she needs to, be fighting with her claws and teeth a lot. But she's really a love bug looking for snuggles and pets. And she's just on the road because the cat lord blessed her with curiosity, and so she's interested in just being anywhere that she wasn't before, and that's here now.
Perfect. Hilda.
Hi, I am Hilda, and I am a dwarf. I will be taking the oath of vengeance because some people did me wrong, and they need to be held accountable for it. Trying to think of what else. She's kind of having a hard time connecting with people right now, so she's gonna want to connect over food and ale, I think. That's how it's going to be for a while until she really is on the trail of seeking vengeance.
Perfect. Amalia.
Okay, I'm Amalia. I'm a Ergonasi barbarian who just ran away from her life for the second time and is starting fresh and looking for her next adventure.
Perfect. And I will be the last member of the party, presenting as Kokola Kundarak, a dwarven rogue who isn't quite as unsavory as rogues kind of get their name out to be. She is she's a little more on the lawful side, so you'll learn her. All right, Mr. World, I'm going to turn it over to you to get us in and get us rolling.
All right. So we will be starting in the village of Kolsvik. It is a small fishing village ran by humans. You are all there for whatever reason. It is your own. None of you know each other just yet. So you may be browsing the fish market, you may be talking to locals. This town is not very big. It holds a few huts for homes, and the most thing you could call an attraction would be the inn there, ran by a strange woman with a strange accent. On the dock, you see a boat appear. It's an old rickety fishing boat, and off of it comes a strange black cat with a sense of adventure in her eye, and she breathes the cold air. It is new and strange to her. What are you all doing?
I am kind of roaming around the village, speaking with various people, looking for work or if there's any interesting rumors they've heard lately.
Okay. So you are walking through the fish market and you pass by a dwarven woman who doesn't seem like a normal dwarf. She isn't as stout as they come. She's more muscular, and she's like a muscular agile. She's not stout like a dwarf in a way. And she is talking to a fisherman And he's giving her a hard time. He's like, listen, I'll pay you the gold when I've got it. You know, it's hard enough that the king makes us pay these debts. And, you know, you'll just have to get the gold when the time comes.
Well, the time is now, and the king, he's not a very patient man. Look, we all have a job to do. Unfortunately, this is my job. So pay up, sucka, or get stabbed.
He goes, oh, so you're going to threaten the civilians. Of course. You're no better than that king, lass. He goes, here. And he throws a coin purse full with 15 gold in it.
Thanks. See, that wasn't so hard, now was it? Look, like I said, we all have a job to do, and this is mine. No hard feelings, friend. Here. She'll flick him back a gold piece. Have something to drink.
He takes the coin, looks at you, looks back at the coin, gets a puzzled look, and just slowly nods as if he doesn't understand life anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that sometimes too. Have a good day. And she'll tuck the coin purse away and turn around and start to walk off.
When you turn around, you almost damn near bump into this strange woman that was standing behind you.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't see you there. I don't know how I didn't, because you're much taller than me, but I didn't.
You might have been distracted from doing your job, I guess is what you would call it.
Yeah. It definitely is my job.
And do you take any enjoyment in actually taking what money that honestly the king doesn't really need?
Do I take joy in it? No. It's just kind of, it's let's just look at it this way, right? Everybody is born into the world in the place that they're meant to be, and they're raised how they're meant to be raised, and the world works its way out, right? And so I was just born into the world, into the place I needed to be, in the job I'm in, and I just do the things I'm supposed to do. So here I am doing the thing called my job that I'm supposed to do. Some people don't like it, but it is what it is. Unfortunate.
So, as you two are talking, a child will bump past you and giggling and laughing as she was chasing her little brother. And she startles when she bumps into you. She looks at you, she goes, I'm sorry. She seems fearful for some reason of Astrid and Coca-Cola.
Oh, no worries, small child.
Not an issue, just watch where you're going.
She goes, I didn't mean to. There's a bunch of strange people. Like over there, there's that weird girl with the pointy ears, and then there's another dwarf over there. She's angry all the time and likes a lot of food. And then that strange cat came off the boat. And then you two.
Yes, child. It's a fishing village. People tend to come and go. Run along now.
She will run away, like literally run away, like in fear.
Be careful not to fall off the dock.
She looks back, like confused, and then slams into Mila. She slams into her so hard that the little girl bounces back onto her back.
You okay there, little girl? Gotta watch where you're running. And I kind of just like pick her up and put her on her feet.
You pick her up and she kind of scurries away. And she looks at you and she runs to a hut at the far end of the village.
Well, gosh, that child, she was a little confused. Fishing village, new faces, always. Anyways, pleasure to meet you. Sorry I almost bumped into you. My name is Coca-Cola. You could just call me Kay for short.
Astrid Bridal, Nice to meet you, and I will give a nod towards Amelia, and I guess head towards the tavern for now.
Tavern sounds good. I could use a drink. It was a long ride on that ship.
All right, and I'll look to some of these people the girl has pointed out and just kind of raise an eyebrow and gesture towards the tavern, see if anyone else is interested in going.
The strange looking cat comes up and you notice that all of a sudden there's this like warm sliding pressure against the side of your leg, and you look down and you're being rubbed against by a gigantic black cat who is, it feels like a shaking feeling is occurring, but like very, very slowly and loudly.
All right. Hello there.
Oh, it smells like fish. I'm on an adventure. Have you been before?
I've passed through this town a few times, and I've done a few things, and I have never seen anyone like you before.
Oh, well, good. I love to learn about new people, too.
Well, we're about to head towards the tavern, since admittedly there's very little to do in this town. Would you care to join?
Thanks so much. I'd love that.
Given that you're a very large cat, you are as tall as Coca-Cola, so she just kind of turn and like look over her shoulder at you, very curious and confused because she's never seen any creature or person of your sort before, and just kind of nod and say yes, tavern, and start walking that way. And I'll turn and look at the others that the little girl had pointed out, especially the very, very tall blue woman, and say, there's a tavern with ale. That's about it here. Come join if you want.
Ale. Yeah, let's go.
So you all make your way to this tavern, and you walk in, and it's kind of a sad sight. Nothing very fancy. Most of the fishermen are on lunch break, so it's kind of filled. The sea air is bearable, but in here it's kind of smells stench of man and sweat and frozen sweat. But if you can bypass the smell, if you look to your right, you'll see that there's a woman behind the bar. She's heavily clad in armor, and her left arm looks off and looks different. Hold on. To the left in the dining room, where it's packed full, you'll see an elegant woman in a red dress, assumed to be the barmaid as she's handing out drinks. She's weaving her way through elegantly. You'll see some of the men try to like flirt with her, and she kind of scoffs them off. So someone want to roll me a perception while they're watching this going on?
Let's see. 22.
Okay. You notice, and Astrid, you notice as well, that the woman to the right of you behind the bar in the heavily armor, and Coca-Cola as well, you notice that the woman is longingly looking at the barmaid. You can almost assume that they are probably partners.
Oh, these poor saps.
What are you doing?
I'm minding my own damn business and finding a table and sitting down because I don't really have time for love stories in my line of work. So
Okay. You find that there is no tables. The only seats are at the bar.
Malia's going to go to the bar. Did you say that the bartender was in full armor?
She is in full plate armor, correct?
I am gonna go take a seat as closer as possible and just be like, "Hey, can I get ale? Also, why do you need to be in full armor behind a bar? Should we be expecting attack at like any moment?"
Fights usually don't break out, but it's helpful to have it on standby. Anyway, you were requesting ale?
Yes, ale would be great, and for my buddies over there, maybe milk for the cat. I don't know.
The cat's kind of slunk into the shadows. She's not always used to being welcome, so she's going to observe for a little bit.
What's some new faces in town? And proceeds to distribute drinks. May I inquire as to what all your names are?
does Cleo noticeably feel uncomfortable in this place as she notices that people kind of aren't really welcoming to her?
No, she hasn't noticed that yet. That's just her default. She's not uncomfortable. She's just paying attention, sussing out the situation. You shouldn't actually be noticing her at all unless you've been paying attention to her.
Okay. So as we're kind of like sitting around at the table and stuff.
Once the barmaid's gone, though, she's happy to like definitely leap up on an empty stool with the rest of the group.
Yes, hello. Astrid Breidolf at your service. And out of curiosity, do you guys just get a kick out of watching your partner shoot down all these fools who are too stupid to see she's taken, or what's the situation there?
You're a nosy one.
Knowledge is
But
useful.
she's my wife. May I ask as to what brings you here?
Looking for work and looking for information on a few things. That's all.
Well, I'm looking for some excitement in my life, so got things I can hit. That would be great.
Can I please have everyone who was at the bar roll me a perception as you're talking to this woman?
I think Brenna is probably in the corner, handing out a couple of like headache potions to one of the fishermen in the back.
Okay. Amelia, you notice, also Hilda, you also notice, looking at her, her left arm is not the same as her right. It is, the metal is of a blackened metal, and it's not quite proportioned to her right arm. It almost looks like it's not the same armor that she's wearing on the rest of her.
Does it look like the actual arm is off or that the armor is weird?
As you look closer, you can tell that in fact, that is her actual arm, and it is a fake arm.
Is that the barmaid or is that the person, her wife, who we're talking to?
It is the woman behind the bar that you're talking to. The barmaid is
Okay.
still weaving in and out of people and giving drinks out.
So the bartender, not the barmaid.
Correct.
And then her wife is someone other than those two people?
The bartender is married to the barmaid.
There you go.
Okay.
So I gotta ask, how'd you lose your arm? Is that why you're always in armor? Are you afraid someone's coming for your other one? And Amalia's just smiling as she says that.
With a somewhat baffled and appalled expression, there's a story behind it, but please don't make a big deal out of it. It's just part of who I am. Lost it against a werebear.
Oh no. So you just look so weirdly dressed for a bartender. You know, it's leading us to ask these questions. You know, most of them just wear grimy clothes and an apron. I'm Amalia, by the way.
Washava.
It's a pleasure to meet you and your wife. These are a bunch of other people I just met and a giant cat.
Cleo sort of purr growls. My name is Cleo.
She's so adorable. I want to pet her all the time. Oh my god.
So, as you guys are talking to Lasherva, behind Coca-Cola, the bar's maid will kind of sweep up behind her, like very quietly. It's very odd how quiet she is. And she goes, "Dear Lasherva, please, we're busy at this hour, you know. Give them what they want, tell them some information or something, get them on the way, honey."
All right.
You said that was the bartender saying that to the barmaid?
Vice versa. The wife
Okay.
saying it to the woman behind the bar who's got the lost her arm to a werebear. I believe she said a werebear. I have never encountered one. I thought those were kind of like a thing of myth.
Oh no, they're real. Along with every other rare species out there.
Well, out of curiosity, how close to this area that we are now would you say that werebear encounter happened? Hopefully not too close, right?
It happened ages ago, but it was here in town.
Oh, Here in town, you say? Huh. Well, I'm gonna turn to the other dwarf and speak in Dwarvish and be like, that lady's arm is as big as my whole body, and a bear ate it in this town. So, walking buddies, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how many other people have been bitten if it happened right here in town. Is there a werebear problem?
Well, she did say it happened ages ago.
But she didn't say if she killed it or not.
And hey, wait, I'm going to turn to Astrid and just kind of look at her because we were speaking in Dwarvish and then ask her, you speak Dwarvish?
It's hard not to live here and not learn the language.
Amalia's gonna pipe in Dwarvish and say, everyone who grew up here speaks Dwarvish. Are there humans who turn into bears? Like, shouldn't we be looking for the human and looking them up?
Yeah.
While this conversation is happening, she ducks her left hand under the bar and pulls out a cloak that looks like the skin of the werebear.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Oh, well, it looks like she solved her own problem, lass.
And she speaks Dwarvish too.
No, I don't speak your language. I understand body language. And puts it back. It's actually a good thing that you're here. I got word from Dermdith, the first village that turned into a city. They're dealing with a bandit problem. Known as the Therian's Might, they're taking people and a couple of small critters for blood sport. They would need some help.
Some help, you say? Coca-Cola becomes slightly more serious when she says the word help. Kind of straightens herself up a little.
At this point, Brenna's probably finished up her business with the two guys in the corner and is going to come up to the bar and just sort of wave at Yosheva and, Oi, can I get a drink, please?
Coca-Cola will slide one of the drinks that was bought for the group of people that just came in together. There would be one for you, Brenna.
Oh, thanks. I don't think we've met.
No, we haven't. I'm Coca-Cola, but you can call me Kay for short. We all just came in off this same boat here and decided we were going to have some drinks. We invited you along. You kind of came in our direction, but it looked like you had other business, so we ordered you a drink anyway.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm Brenna. I'm the Gila midwife in town to finish up some business from a mentor who just passed.
Oh, healer. Oh, sit down. That's a great service you provide. I just met a couple of these other folks here. I know Astrid's name is Astrid, and the big blue one, she's Amalia, and the large purring kitty with very soft fur, that's Cleo. And my dwarf friend here, I don't know if I asked her name yet, but we're sharing a drink, so.
Hilda.
Well, it's certainly interesting to have people in town who are even more unusual looking than me. I'm used to being the freak around town. People sort of pretend not to notice anymore, but I think they do.
Well, you didn't hear this from a dwarf. and she'll lean in and say, fuck them.
So
I mean, you're not wrong.
roll me a dex save. As you see out the corner of your eye, an apple come hurling at your head.
At whose head?
Brenna's.
Well, as we established, my dex is pretty bad, so I probably try to duck and I probably fail.
Can Amalia try to catch it?
Can we look around and see who the hell threw that apple?
So roll me you can roll me a dex if you want to try to catch the apple. As most of you can see it the way you're facing.
Okay, Dex. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. So you leap over and with inches from hitting her like in the nose and would have broke her nose. And you hear, "You damn dirty freaks, get out of our town!"
At that moment, I'm going to jump up on my bar stool in the direction of the person yelling and very, very openly brandishing the iron gate symbol on my leather armor. And I'm going to ask the guy, do you have a fucking problem?
So when you look over, you see the guy. You see there's about 7 men standing with him, ready to like throw more food. And when you flash that symbol, you see about 4 of them kind of be like, "Oh shit, you're an idiot." And you see them just kind of like slink back to their cars. The ones that
Are
are
these
left,
local guys?
yes.
Are these like the kids who threw mud at the girls in the schoolyard when we were little?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I will hold up a hand to Kay to keep her from like escalating, and then with the other hand, I am just gonna use like a produce flames cantrip and light my fingers up a little bit and like scratch my head real subtly, and then look over at the gaggle of morons and be like, "Guys, seriously, out.
Amalia's gonna take a bite of the apple and then throw it back at the guy who threw it, aiming for the head.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
Cleo has slunk behind their table, hopefully without notice,
Roll me
to
a
be
stealth.
to be available if something escalates.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to roll to throw an apple.
Give me an unarmed.
Yeah, I can't remember how to actually do that. So is that strength or dex?
It'll be strength.
Okay. Oh, it says unarmed strike on the sheet. Okay.
So far, Cleo, you seem to feel unnoticed by everyone.
17.
Okay. So you throw it at him and he steps out of the way and it hits the friend behind him in the nose, cracking the dude's nose. Oh! I'm roll.
You had that coming."
Yeah, serves you right for being a prick.
Perhaps it would be better for the lot of you to go home and sober up. And I'm gonna give him a very sharp smile and finger my axe.
So the dude that threw the apple will look and notice that he's standing by himself at this point. The other 2 guys kind of like shimmied off. After one broke his nose, the other one's like, "I don't want to deal with this." So he goes, "All right, fine, you fucking freaks." And you see him, he'll go out a back door on the end.
Oi, when you sober up, come find me and I'll fix your nose.
Cleo is snarling behind them.
Amalia is just at this point taking a sip of her ale and kind of giggling at this whole situation.
You know, you don't have to heal them, right?
It's sort of my job.
So as you guys talk amongst each other for a bit, it gets back to the normal rowdiness, and Lasherva seems to have gone to the back to fetch and get more ale ready. Who knows when she'll be back? And the bar is made. She's cleaning tables. So, what are you guys doing now?
When I heal his nose, maybe I'll turn his nose hairs green or something.
Oh, the guy with the broken nose is actually sitting at a table by himself, still holding a rag to his nose.
Yeah, definitely turning his nose hairs green.
Wait, was the guy with the broken nose not harassing us?
No, he stood up to like help harass you, but then when he was like, he realized like this is a stupid idea. I don't know why I'm following this guy. And he went to move to leave, and that's when he threw the apple. The dude dodged it, and it hit him in the nose, breaking the. So you kind of hit a bystander that didn't do anything.
I kind of feel bad now.
No, there's an old saying back where I come from, Amalia. Don't feel bad. Because if you lie with dogs that have fleas, you get fleas too. And he made his own choices. But he learned. That apple to the face really made him learn. I apologize for my temper, ladies. However, even being from this place and being a dwarf, people don't really give me issues, but I just, I don't like it when they bother others. And it kind of pissed me off.
You know, I'm kind of used to being called a freak, but that apple didn't taste very good. They deserved it.
I've been dealing with them for years, and I lose my temper occasionally, but not with them. They're not worth it.
Okay, crazy idea here. What if instead of healing them, I know it's your job to, but who says you have to stay here? Maybe someone else needs to pick that up and you go out and find people who actually deserve your good nature. Just a thought.
Don't call me good just yet. There was an unfortunate incident when I was a teenager. Moody, you know. I might have set an outhouse on fire. There might have been someone in it. I'm not saying it was one of those assholes, but it might have been one of those assholes.
I mean, who hasn't had some moody teenager, you know,
I
blow
know.
up the house things? I mean, we've all done that, right?
Sure.
Cleo rubs her head against Brenna's leg and purrs.
Oh, you're adorable.
And she like kind of backs her head up and butts her head against like she wants pets.
Oh, you're definitely getting pets for sure. I'll give her a little scritch behind the ears. But I'm guessing you can mess somebody up real bad. I bet you can.
And you kind of see her bare her claws and teeth a little bit while she's like growl purring.
I thought so. Yeah, I'm sort of at loose ends at the moment. I thought about staying here, but I forgot. I don't know if it's Wanderlust or I've got some things to maybe look into outside of town. So we'll see. I don't know.
Well, if you do decide you'd like to leave town, it looks like there's a small bandit problem that I'm probably going to look into. You're welcome to join, as are the rest of you.
Oh, count me in. I've been so bored in this fishing village. It's only been like a day.
Try growing up here.
Sue wants to ask the bartender. She'll pay for an order of fried fish for the whole party, and ask if she's in or heard of any interesting artifacts in the area.
So when you turn to look for the bartender, she isn't there. You assume that she's gone to the back to fetch more mead and to refill the barrels. But instead, you hear, and you see this tiny goblin climb onto a chair. He goes, what do you want?
Who are you?
Run bar when lady not here.
Well, okay. When's she coming back?
I don't know. She refilled wine barrels. Take a long time.
Okay. Can we place our orders with you?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell me any news of the town?
We used to have a werebear problem, but Lady can Lady take care of you.
Okay. Well, I'd like to order a round of fried fish and ask if you've seen or heard of any interesting artifacts in this area.
So he will hop down and like stumble and like face plant onto the floor out of the chair because it's too tall. And he'll scramble back up and run to the kitchen. And he will come back and he'll give you guys, all of you, it will be fried fish with mashed potatoes. There is peas and carrots, and then a free mug of ale that comes with that. And he'll say, kind lady say, put on tab, you no pay now.
Wow, that's nice of her. She's pretty and sweet. So tell me about those artifacts.
No heard of artifacts here. Some over mountain, but no one has made it over mountain in years.
Oh, why is that? Is it dangerous?
Mountain pass, very dangerous. Or you sail by sea, most boats sink.
Oh, what makes the boat sink?
Do you think we know? No one come back survive.
Oh. What about the mountains? What's dangerous about the mountains?
They're said to be frost giants like Ymir's children, or there's also the cannibals that live in the hills.
Oh.
My ears will kind of tingle when he says cannibals, and I'm just going to turn and look and say, rewind. You said what in the hills?
Frost giants and cannibals. I thought he was very clear.
Yes. I heard the frost giants. Yeah, okay. Cannibals. Okay. And I'm just gonna take a long drink of my ale.
So, I know we were talking about going after those bandits, but cannibals seem worse. So maybe we should try our luck at the mountains. I mean, if you guys want to come, that is.
I actually have business in the mountains.
I should mention, only way through to mountain entrance is through King's Tunnel and Castle.
Which means we have to go through the bandits to get there.
And King's Tunnel in Castle is not going to happen. Very well guarded.
Yes, pretty lady no. She worked for King.
I'm going to elbow him.
You elbow him off the seat. He goes, oh, I'm sorry.
I reach and put him back on his little chair. Is there any other news going around lately? Anything odd other than the bandit issue?
He'll sit there and he'll think for a minute, scratching his head like, And he'll say, there is another human village named Ragnaros. It's the only other human village here in the canyon.
Yes, I'm well acquainted with that village.
Oh, okay. Then you have Thon Olam. It's the second door in the village, but something happened and there's like dark magic over it. I don't understand.
What kind of... Can you get a bit more specific on the dark magic?
People go in, no one return. Village is lost to time, as in it's dilapidated and no one lived there a long time.
Okay. Something to check out later.
Sounds kind of like your problem with the boats in the area.
Yeah, those stupid fishermen.
Well, what's the secret to getting past the cannibals and frost giants?
I don't know. Look at me. They could swallow me whole. Look at her. They could swallow her whole. As he points to Coca-Cola.
And Cleo kind of growl purrs and licks her lips and looking at the goblin. Was it a goblin?
Yes.
A goblin.
You should really probably go to Durndirth and help that guy out. Those bandits are annoying.
Yes, bandits certainly pique my interest more than getting mixed in with a bunch of cannibals in this moment of my existence.
Thank you for the helps. What is your name?
My name is Penny.
Penny. Oh, thank you, Penny.
Yeah.
And I will hand him a gold piece for taking the time to answer our questions and stand up. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna head towards. Let me make sure I get this name right.
Dermdirth, yeah?
Yeah.
Dermdirth.
Yeah.
If you're all heading to take care of the bandits, do you mind if I tag along? I haven't been out of town in several months, so.
I certainly don't mind. The more the merrier. Hilda, what do you think? You look like you're ready to smash some shit with that hammer of yours.
She cracks her knuckles and says, yes. Bandits definitely need to go. You know, people need to be able to do their job without having their stuff stolen, right?
Right.
Fair enough.
Amalia, what about you? What do you think about taking care of these bandits? You probably could squish one in each of your hands at the same time.
Sounds fun. Count me in.
Cleo?
Cleo, once she'd finished the goblin didn't have any more information that she needed. She'd gobbled her fish down, leaving the mashed potatoes and peas on the plate, and was kind of like fishing the ale out of the mug and licking it off her paw, but it had knocked it over, and so then she was licking the ale off the table now, and she kind of looks up with like ale all over her muzzle. Well, I have business in the mountains, but if you want to come with me to that too, I'd be happy to join you.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So off we go to Dermdirth then. Yeah, Astrid.
Yes, I look forward to working with you all.
Likewise.
Yes, this seems like a great idea.
So,
What could ever go wrong from grouping up with a bunch of people you just met in a tavern around some bandit talk? What could ever go wrong there?
Normally, murder. Turns out one of them's a serial killer and just slit your throat in your sleep. That's what could go wrong.
so as you guys finish your meal and you head out, you guys exit the tavern, and the road's clear that leads to, the village. You walk to the edge of town, and there sits a sign that points to the north that leads, says follow this to get to Durndirth. As you guys hit this trail, the snow starts to fall, and the wind is howling, and you hear the cawing of crows in the distance.
Does it sound like normal crows, or does it sound like weird, creepy crows?
Roll me a perception.
I will do that. Let's see. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a 22.
It is an unnatural cawing. And you can see the swarm of crows in front of you. They're about 30 feet across from you. And they're
Anyone
circling.
else super creeped out by the crows?
Theo kind of stealths behind a tree and keeps her eyes on the crows as she moves along.
Okay. Are you guys moving farther down the road?
Do they look like they're circling something, or are they just like flapping around?
They're just, you can't see a pattern. It just seems like they're just flying around. But the cawing is unsettling.
I'm
So
gonna
they're not like flying to something or from something or around something. They're just like
Yeah, they're just flying around.
loitering.
Yes.
I'm gonna just a little bit creeped out, take out my sword, just unsheath it.
Cleo stealths under where the crows are circling to investigate what's on the ground, if anything.
Okay, roll me a stealth as you sneak up to those crows. Coca-Cola, you said you were going to say you want to do something as well?
Malia just unsheathed her sword in preparation because she's a bit creeped out, and that's her response.
Yeah, I want to look at the up at the crows and pull my Heimdall necklace, my little rune that hangs around my neck, and hold it as I look up at the crows. And I will say, Hail Heimdall, warder of the gods, son of Odin and father to all classes of men, holy one that dwells. You who watch us for this day of Ragnarok, waiting to blow the horn. I ask you to watch over this group and keep us, your children, safe.
So, as you're saying this type of prayer almost, Cleo, you come across a mutilated body in the snow. Now, as we switch back to Coca-Cola, the crows all land in the trees as she's saying this prayer, and they all tilt their head and one eye starts to glow blue.
Oh, wow.
I will quietly say to the people that are still around me, those aren't regular crows, yeah. Watchers of Odin. Just keep together and don't do anything to piss them off.
So no hitting them.
Not unless they hit us first.
Cleo sneaks back out to the group and tells them what she saw.
Does mutilated dead bodies count as hitting first?
Can I go up there? Can I go up there and take a look with my medical expertise?
Yep, you can examine the bodies. Actually, a few of the crows will be sitting next to the body, looking at you guys.
I'll go up slowly and carefully so as not to startle them.
Okay. They kind of hop backwards, still a glowing blue eye looking at you. And they look. One of them looks at the corpse and looks back at you.
I'll kind of hold up my hands like I'm not going to do anything. And then I see if I can figure out what happened, how they died,
Roll me,
coroner's report.
roll me like a nature with advantage.
Okay. Okay, that is a 15.
Okay. So, as you examine this body, You see that he has large gash wounds across his chest and back, and bite wounds in his neck. Something very large and beastly killed this man.
I didn't do it.
But what sticks out the most to you is you see where the flesh has fallen away. In his rib cage, something shines a little in the snow.
Does it look recent, or does it look like a few days old?
He looks a few days old. Like he's just kind of rotted a bit.
Okay.
He was
But it
very
wasn't like
interested-
this happened 5 minutes ago.
No, it wasn't like 5 minutes ago.
Okay. You said there was something shiny?
Yes.
All right. I'm not squeamish. I deliver babies. I'm gonna dig out the shiny.
All right. You plunge your hand through his ribs, fishing around, and you finally get a hold of it. And you pull out a strange key.
I'm gonna hold it up so everyone else can see. Any ideas what this was doing in a man's ribcage? Pretty sure that's where I don't keep anything, really.
His rib cage, like he inhaled it.
Can I?
And it wasn't just like dropped on him. I had to like fish around for it, right?
Can I take a look at that key?
Was it in his lungs?
More
I've
of
been able to
the
tell that.
intestine tract.
Ah. No, I think maybe he swallowed it. Trying to hide it, maybe?
Maybe he swallowed it on purpose?
Yeah, if he didn't want anyone to find it.
That's interesting.
Do you mind if I take a look at that key?
I'll hand it over.
Mr. World?
Yep.
Given my knowledge with keys and things of the sort in a 21 investigation, is this a key that I recognize?
Yes. You've seen this key many times in some very illegal activities, but also your clan and your family uses them sometimes as like a one-time entrance into something. You people call it a mystery key. A question mark is worked into the head of this key. The key has a 5% chance of unlocking any lock into which it's inserted. Once it unlocks something, the key disappears.
Yeah. So after examining the key, I will hand it back to Brenna since she found it and say, yeah, that's a mystery key. People, it's kind of like a magic key. It'll get you into a place that you need into one time and then it kind of goes away.
Interesting.
Seen him a time or 27 maybe.
Any place one time or a specific place? Like, is it preset?
Well, it depends on how the key is crafted. I don't know if I was necessarily able to discern that from looking at it, Mr. World, if it was a specific place or any door.
You know that this key it goes into any lock.
There you go.
The only thing is it only has a 5% chance of unlocking that lock. But once it's used, it's used. It cannot be used. It disappears.
Brenna, do you recognize this man? Like, is he from town? Is he just a traveler?
Do I recognize him?
So, Brenna, as you hand the key over, you look back at the corpse, maybe saddened slightly, so no one deserves this fate. And you realize this was the town's kind of urchin. He was a very gentle man. He was very kind, and he prayed to Odin every day, every night. And it's quite odd that he was this far out of the village and that he had this key in him.
I'm sorry, he was the town what? Merchant?
Like urchin, like kind of like didn't really have a home, kind of like
Like
slept.
a town bum, kind of.
Yeah.
So he'd be an easy target. Wouldn't be missed.
So this guy lived in town. He was just sort of a harmless guy on the street corner, I suppose.
Yep.
A fixture.
If that's the case, how does a guy like that get a hold of a key like this?
That's an interesting question. Also, how does a guy like that warrant being torn to pieces? Both of those things are odd, and I have to think that they're potentially connected.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
Did you say that the crows were Odin's crows?
They are Odin's watchers, yes.
Yes, they are. That is what I figured out from looking at them.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't know how into your faiths you are, but Odin he's the All-Father. He's kind of like the big boss of the gods around here. And crows
This
are...
gentleman was pretty devout, so I'm guessing they were watching over him, maybe?
It would make sense, especially if he was a devout follower and done wrong. They're watchers of Odin. You know, they keep track of the things in the world, and he kind of can see all things that happen.
You think maybe he fell out of favor?
If he can see all, and these crows are his watchers, maybe they know what happened or can lead us in the right direction. You said that like prayer before. Maybe you can ask them.
Yeah, I did say my prayer to Heimdall, who's my chosen deity. I've never talked to Odin. That's not really kind of my thing. I just know a little about him. Well, they are crows, and I know this is going to sound strange, but I have met people who could do it before. Are any of you capable of talking to animals?
I was actually just thinking that if we don't mind hanging out for a few minutes, I should be able to speak with them and see if we can get an idea of what happened here.
That's fine. I'm gonna start digging a grave for him. He doesn't deserve to just rot on the side of the road like this.
That's a good idea. So I'm just going to kind of move off the road a little bit so I'm not in the way and start ritual casting Speak with Animals. It'll take me 10 minutes, I think. Yeah, 10 minutes.
While Brenna does that and Astrid starts to dig, I will find a rock or a small piece of wood to carve like the symbol of Odin into. And so we could bury it with the guy.
And Cleo watches the burial intently and mournfully, twitching her tail.
I will help dig the grave.
Excellent. I also would like to help. I don't know if you heard me say that before, but I also would like to help dig the grave, and I have a shovel.
Excellent. Thank you. We don't know who did this to you, sir, but know that they won't get away with this.
Is there anything else on his person while we're burying him?
You don't see much. As I said, he was a very poor, very broke man. He didn't have much to give. But, he made the town very happy. As you are all preparing to bury this man, the clouds seem to part for a moment, and sunlight beams down on the corpse. As a figure starts exiting out of the sky above you. And you see it slowly float down and grab him by the shoulders and lift him up like a warrior's lift. And you see his spirit come lifting out of the corpse. And he looks at his hands, and all you hear the woman say, "Your time has come, dear warrior. You have earned your seat in Valhalla, in Odin's hall." And before you can say a word or fathom what just happened, she fades back into the sky with the ghost of the man.
That was weird, right? The dogs don't manifest, so that was weird, not just me, right?
It means we did the right thing. That's what that
Yeah,
means.
that was a bit odd. Good, but odd.
He just looks happy with tail twitching.
You guys bury his corpse, and you make a little rock pile. And you set his grave. And as Coca-Cola puts the wooden plank in, a piece of wood, not plank, but the piece of wood she had, you'll see runes cover the rocks as a protection ward. So he will not come back as an undead in the harsh winter. The crow's eyes will turn back to normal, and they will scatter immediately, flying in opposite directions as the sky clears of crows. What are you doing?
Oh, no, wait. Don't fly off. Our friend's almost dead. No.
I was gonna say, do I have my ritual complete by any chance?
As soon as you complete it, they go squawk.
Can I holler at them? Hey, oi, come back!
You'll
Can I talk to you for a minute?
You'll hear one crow. It'll fly back around. As it flies past you, it'll say, "He is always watching. Your actions will be weighed, and your souls will take the price. Beware. Beyond the stone mountain walls lies a land that needs your help. But first, you must leave this place. So beware. Your actions hold heavy with the gods. Remember." And he flies away.
Okay, that's nice, but what happened here?
Man, some gods are so rude.
Okay, so Odin Crow was doing I don't know, prophet speak or something. I don't know, talking in riddles. Something about that Odin is always watching, because that's not creepy at all. And that our souls hang in the balance, and that past the mountains, there's some people who need our help. Always watching, souls in the balance. Yeah.
Okay, so he's threatening not to let us into Valhalla when we die? Okay.
It wasn't threatening, it just seemed informational, do good things and it'll be good. Don't do bad things, because otherwise that'll be bad,
Maybe. Look, you said that guy was dead for a while, and the crows were here waiting for us. And he only went to Valhalla when we got the key, so maybe the key is meant for us somehow, which is
Possibly.
weird because we just met each other.
Yeah.
But I suppose
Yeah, you've definitely been here for a couple of days.
Oh.
I mean,
As you guys sit here talking, time gets away from you a bit as you conversate, and the snowstorm picks up and sight starts getting hard to see. Your sight has now been reduced by half because of the snowstorm.
We should get on our way to Dermdirth before this gets any worse.
agreed.
How far are we? Do we need to go ahead and set camp?
If you are to leave now and no longer wait, you will make it just in time before the storm is at full peak and before night falls.
yeah, so let's get moving.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go. I will tuck the mystery key into a pocket in my skirt.
Okay. So you guys begin moving along, and the wind is harsh and it lashes against you, and like even with your cold weather gear, it starts to become slightly unbearable. As even growing up here, Brenna, you know this is not natural. The storm does not feel natural. And I need everyone to roll me a Constitution, please.
Is this a check or a saving throw?
It is a saving throw, please.
Constitution. Which dice do I use for that?
Maybe your D20.
Yes, but
D20.
I have like 6 of them.
Oh, you're like me. You're like, do I use my...
We'll do this one. Nope, this one. Oh, that'll do. Constitution. Brenna has got a 16.
All right. It seems we have had 2 people fail. Everyone else you passed, you are fine. You're fighting off this cold. Amelia and Cleo, you both take 4 frost damage. And as the parties, you guys are like looking at going through the storm, you guys notice that frost is literally building up their skin on their arm.
Oof.
I will go to the closest one and kind of try and pull her under my cloak and hope that helps a little.
Yeah, I'll go to the other one.
Okay. As you guys do this, you hear. Well, first you see in the distance lights, which means town, and you know for a fact that this is Dermdirth. That's what's in front of you. And as you're going, you see the town gates. Town gates are closed as you get closer, and from your left and right, you hear.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And to your left, you hear what almost sounds like clattering of what could be bone. And as you get closer to the gate, you see 2 torches appear. What's your business? Who are you?
Yes, I am Astrid Breidolf with the Sacrifices of the Knights. We heard you had a bandit problem.
You're foolish to travel so close tonight. Get into the gate before the undead gets you. And the gate will swing open. The stone gate just swings open quickly. I'm assuming you all go in.
Everybody in, let's go.
Yeah, very quickly rushing in out of the cold as fast as possible.
As you get in, it seems that Dermdirth has maybe a magical shield around it of some sort that lessens the storm's effect. So it is immediately way warmer, and you can see back to normal now. And you notice that Durndurth is built into the side of a mountain, which you think about it, dwarves run this town, and that makes a lot of sense. It is pretty bustling. It is a hunter's town. There is many stalls for antlers, hooves, pelts, food, meat. You could resupply provisions here, or you could buy a cloak if you don't have one, or things of the sort. The biggest establishment out of this entire place sits the Durndurth Inn and Barkeep. And it stands out because it has mounted upon the head of it a frost giant's head with the eyes filled with a torch to make it glow in the night. It is a real frost giant's head that's been preserved to be a trophy upon this inn. And this town, like I said, it is bustling, and you can hear the cheering and the screaming coming from the inn. It sounds like a concert's fixing to start.
Well, I'm a little cold, and I could go for some ale to warm me up. You want to head in and get some rest before we head off to get these bandits?
Yes,
Sounds like a good idea.
food chatters your teeth. I'd like to warm up.
Yeah, let's get you two to a fire.
All right.
Well, I just want to know what that party is.
You guys go to the inn, and you walk in. The doors bust open, and they open for you automatically, like as if magic controls them. As you walk in, this place is massive, and there's a stage to your left, and you see two half elves and 3 dwarves get on a stage. And you look to the right, and there's a massive counter full of all the liquor you could ever want. Sits behind a very grumpy-looking dwarf smoking a golden pipe. And whenever you turn back and look at the stage, the musicians get ready, and they begin to play their song.
From a little black bird, the edges of a prophecy, the pieces I have not. Said the daughter of the reaper has been searching for the keeper, and I can't you let me locked tight in the tower on top of the domain of humanity, the God that I love. When you're holding on to majesty, you fear the hunter's travesty, the balance play with God. You're safe to the bone, holy, and you claim yourself wrong. Like me, the real power of your own making. God just gonna hunt you down. You're something on the passions. You take it on the past. You find you in a dream, tormented. God just gonna hunt you down. We have gone flying to the depths of my mind. For what could be such a threat to me, the conqueror of time? In the whispers of awakening, yet the spirit's beckoning to look upon my crime. Blood and war, when the world is no more. She's been watching for a century with hatred and with scorn. If you know the hunter's coming, then you might all keep on running, cause she's slain the gods before. You're safe to the bone, no pain, and you make yourself grown. Like me, wield power of your own, making God just gonna hunt you down. You're something more than flesh and something. You've taken on the rest to she'll find you in a dream, tormented. God is gonna hunt you down. Don't let it see how we lie. Don't let it see so. To the master of the eldritch, she's a growing bed of rose. Know the stages of the night, tell the tales of a fright from a ghost of the future days. A holy crusade on the gods to get to in a violent way. Games falling in the mist, made the names on the list, and the house was going through. Watch for the past when your name is lost, and the hunter was for you. She has none left with me, and the loyal nights have passed away the time. God in a throne, let her fall alone. Kingdom I count mine. Kingdom of being for assurance, seeing everyone which will come to take his due. The hate in your head, she has more, he said. The hunter waits for you. You're single to the bone, okay, and you've made yourself a throne. Like me, a real power of your own, making God just gonna hunt you down. You're something more than flesh and something, and you've taken on the rest to forget. She'll find you in a dream, tormented. God just gonna hunt you down.
So the song dies, and the band is exhausted. They're sweating, and everyone is just screaming "Ah!" and just clapping, except one person. The dwarf behind the bar still has a very unpleased, pissy look on his face. The band will get off the stage, and they'll go and mingle around the tables, talk to people, and like people will be giving them money or giving them free drinks.
Well, that was a very, very fine performance. I will say I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. So that was very good. That was very, very good. Now, Ale, let's get to the drinking.
You guys go ahead. I'll be just a moment.
And Cleo's been watching from the shadows by the fireplace. Is this a short rest?
You can take a short rest if you'd like, yes.
Yes, please.
You're going to get a long rest after this conversation, so.
I was gonna say, yeah, I assume we're sleeping here tonight.
Oh, okay.
And if that's the case, I'll go ahead and arrange for some rooms.
Okay. So you're going to the dwarf?
Yeah. How many of us are there?
6.
5, 6.
So you approach whoever's going to the bar, to speak with the dwarf. You approach this dwarf, and he's smoking. As you close, you realize his pipe isn't just a golden pipe; it's in the shape of a bird. And he's sitting there, he's grumbling as he's like kind of reading a book to himself. He's just seems a very pissy mood.
Excuse me. We were wondering if we could get some drinks and possibly a couple of rooms. I think 3. And then I'll kind of look back over my shoulder. Are we okay sharing?
Looking down at my book, I look up with you with just an eye. Aye, fine. Give me a moment. And I'm gonna go back, grab him a couple of drinks for all of you. You said you needed 3 rooms.
Yeah, I think 3 will do us just fine.
Taking a big swig out of my own canteen. All right, how long?
Just the one night for now. But would you mind if we extended that if we needed to?
Just try and let me know. Don't come here minutes before tomorrow night saying, "Aye, we need to extend the room." I might have already given it to someone else. Try and let me know as soon as possible.
Completely fair.
Oh. Yes, Astrid.
Okay. Did you not care for the song, or?
No. I had hoped I'd like it a bit more. Good music. I normally always love their tunes, but it's just... sometimes you can't be in a good mood even if you want to be, you know?
Well, what's wrong? Clearly, something's making you grumpy.
Oh, there's just one damn thing after another around here. Takes another swig of my canteen.
Well, we came into town to try to help with the bandit problem. So maybe we can help with your problem for the room
yes.
for the night.
You said you were here to deal with bandits? Awfully convenient. Which ones, out of curiosity?
The ones who killed the man on the road.
Darren's mate?
Oh, bloody fucking course, one-eyed Willie. Damn it! Slams my canteen, splashing a bit of alcohol. Well, at least I'm sort of happy to see you then. Yes, if you can take care of that, I'd be more than happy to help you with the rooms and then some. Bloody bastard is my main pain in the ass.
And you said his name was what again?
One-eyed fucking Willie's his nickname, because the bastard doesn't have any goddamn depth perception. Should be One-eyed No Willie, bastard. I'd take his bloody fucking Willie off and shove it down his throat if I could, make him choke to death on it.
Well,
I like you.
I kind of do also.
Brenna's just sitting at the bar, like, snickering.
His real name is William Therian. Obviously, the whole damn camp is named after him. Pretentious bastard. Seriously, who names an entire guild after themselves? Gotta be the most ridiculous thing, naming something you discover or make after your bloody self, as if you're immortal and no one else is ever gonna take over. In 100 years, if it's successful enough, you bloody die, and they wonder, oh, why is it called Therian's Might? Your leader's not named bloody fucking Therian. He's named bloody Tom. Takes another swig at the can and slams it down again in frustration.
So,
Bloody fucking stupid!
do you know him personally? Did you, go to high school with him? He seemed to have some personal hate.
It sounds like maybe your girlfriend cheated on you.
Or maybe
yes.
he's
As soon
an
as you
ex.
mention the girlfriend, no, as soon as you mention the
Oh
girlfriend,
God.
he grips his wooden cup so hard it cracks and literally crushes the thing in his hand.
I'm gonna very quickly reach into my pack and pull out a small leather pouch that has some very bright and colorful herb in it, and I'm gonna quickly stuff it in the end of his golden pipe and say, "Smoke that, you'll feel better."
He's gonna set the pipe down, and just real quiet, calm anger now.
Sorry.
My wife didn't
Didn't
cheat
realize
at
that
all.
was a sore spot.
She couldn't cheat when he killed her.
Oh.
Bloody bastard takes prisoners and makes them fight in some mud pit like an arena. She was the only one who was strong enough to actually win. And instead of winning anything, a goddamn prize was a blade through the throat.
Oh.
How much will you pay us to deliver his head personally to you?
I've got 75 gold burning a hole in my pocket for his bloody fucking head.
How much for his head and dick just shoved down his throat?
Can you give me a what check did you want for that, Legoshi?
Roll me persuasion.
Persuasion? Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Can I help in any way? To get
Can they help and give me advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you this nat 20 for 23 on that persuasion, Mr. World.
Shit.
I got it dirty, Bunny.
Go ahead,
No,
Shelly.
I got dirty.
You know what? If you give me that head with its damn cock shoved down its throat, I would gladly make that 100 and give you the bloody rooms for the night.
We will make this happen.
Yeah, I'm all for de-dicking asshole men. So,
I'm gonna pull a gold out of my pocket and just like very, very quietly, not making eye contact, slide it across the bar and say, "Sorry about your wife."
He's just gonna quietly take it and take a draw out of his pipe with the new stuff. Oh yeah, it's all right. Nothing you can do about it now.
Speaking of people injured and not quite dead yet, I suppose. I have in my village. I'm the midwife, and I was apprenticed to the healer. If anyone is sick in town, if you don't have anyone readily available, I'm happy to offer my skills.
I'll be honest with you, I might need some of your bloody skills after this. And I'm gonna pull up 2 empty bottles of alcohol from underneath the bar. And then a new cup and a third bottle that's like halfway empty. As you can see, I've been working up a bit of metab myself.
Well, I can give you something for the headache you're definitely going to have in the morning. If you want your liver fixed, that's going to take a bit more time.
Oh no, trust me. My liver's been long gone. There's more damage to it than you could ever fix.
Well, I will reach into my pocket and pull out the same headache potion that I gave to the guy back in the other town and just slide it across. That should help in the morning.
Aye, thank you.
The D&D version of aspirin.
Mr. World, does this gentleman have any particular godly affiliation symbols to him? Like maybe a necklace showing who he worships or anything like that?
You notice his pipe is a crow.
This pipe is a crow. Okay. I'm going to pull out of my little Tinker's kit a small little piece of, we'll say, just brass and a little brass chain, and I will make the symbol of Odin on the brass while we sit around at the bar and drink, and I'll give it to him. I'll say a prayer and then give it to him. It's not much, but for your wife.
By symbol of Odin, do you have a particular one in mind, like the Odin's hammer, or is another one?
Just like the rune that represents Odin.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then on the back, like it'll just say like a little thing about for in memory of your wife.
He's gonna. Oh, sorry. World.
Because you said to be nice. Coca-Cola, you have inspiration, so mark that on your sheet.
Woo.
Go ahead, Shelly.
He's gonna take it a little quizzically at first, flip it over, just kind of look it over, and nod. Thank you, and put it around his neck.
So, you guys drink, party, talk to the band for a bit. They're actually really snotty. It's like snobby and kind of rude, and just like most bands end up being.
Once he's calmed down, I ask if he's heard of any artifacts in the area, interesting artifacts.
Have I heard of any interesting artifacts, Mr. World?
You have not.
I have not.
The only thing he would know, he would end up telling you the same thing as the other barkeep about the Dwarven city that collapsed and has been under dark magic.
Sorry for your loss. Thank you.
How long ago was that?
How long ago was what?
The dark city or dark magic thing. When did that start?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure. It's been a while now. I never really kept track.
Would I know something about how long those rumors have been around? Is that something that like kids have been telling us ghost stories since we were little? Or is that a recent thing?
That's a more recent thing.
Do you know where exactly this little group likes to hang out, or more
right.
likely to be spotted?
Right, hell. Gods, I got so excited about the idea of getting to see his head with its own dick down its throat that I forgot to tell you where to go. My bad. Oh, you can find the ugly bastards camp northwest of here. You should watch out too. They like to set traps and whatnot. They're nothing short of a bunch of vicious animals. They will play dirty. So play dirty back.
About how many of them would you say there are?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's not exactly a small group, but you're not looking at an army or anything like that. Not that I'm aware, at least.
What sorts of weapons and skills are we up against?
Well, let's see. Did Mr. World, did the information that you just sent me apply to this group that I'm talking about, or the city?
It applied to the city they asked about. They asked like two different things at once.
Okay. Honestly, I really don't know. I know a lot of them tend to get up and close. I don't know if any of them really know anything about magic. But I know they're all good with knives, swords, and the like.
So, Hilda, like you keep trying to speak up, and the angry dwarf keeps cutting you off, and you smack him. Like, let me get a word in.
Hilda would touch her sword, and she would promise to him that she will avenge. She will seek justice for both him and his wife.
Well, thank you. That almost makes me not as upset about the fact that I just got pimp slapped. But I am grateful. I really hope you're all successful, and, well, I hope you all come back so that I can give you those rooms.
And just out of curiosity, have you seen an elven woman come through here recently? Blonde hair, noble looking.
No, not that I can recall. I mean, we get elves from time to time, but no, nobody noble looking or important in any way. Just regular clientele.
All right, thanks anyway.
Of course.
Well, I think we all need drinks.
What was your name, kind sir?
Shelley is the name. I would say a pleasure, sort of is. I'm just in a bit of a better mood now, I suppose. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm very good at cheering people up.
So, you guys will get your drinks, and you'll sit by the fire, relaxing and talking, possibly getting to know each other more. As night sets in, you all get tired and you rest. This is where we will leave this first episode. And I'm glad to have you guys here.
Woo!
So we're going to go on